Everybody here is a range safety officer, so if you see an unsafe procedure, feel free to yell out at any moment, ceasefire. Everyone must comply with a ceasefire. When a ceasefire is given, you need to unload your rifle, remove magazine, and insert the empty chamber indicator. We've also got lots of fun stuff out here hiding in the bushes. As you can see, this place has been growing, so watch out for reptilian threats and vectors, of course, as well as keep yourself away from anything that's on the range that could give you a bite or a sting. We are not allowed to mess with any of the animals. You see our natives out there on the berms. You're not allowed to shoot. If there is an animal in your shooting position, you're going to need to cease fire and not shoot on that. If we have any known problems with animals, we'll call out a ceasefire. There are buffalo out here. We have obviously coyotes and other things like that. Have I covered everything, Mike? Does that sound right?
So the time is 7:10. I'm here at range 116 at Camp Pendleton. We have to come here and rally up at the parking lot at 116 to walk over or get carted over to 117 because we're not allowed to park there. But today is Sunday and we're going to have the 3x1000 prone match. And I was a little hesitant on whether or not I was going to come out here today, but I got myself up this morning and said, what the hell, let's just get out to Pendleton to shoot some 1,000 yard. So today I just brought out my Remington 700 and we're gonna go ahead and just have some fun today. Not really trying to compete or anything, but just wanna get some trigger time at long range. One thing today is I'm going to be using the Atlas bipod, which I haven't really used, but we'll see how that runs today. Loading up all my rounds in this Tab Gear bullet binder just because it's going to be a little slimmer when we throw it into the backpack. Smaller profile so I can pack more of my other gear in here. And the binders keep these rounds in a flat, fairly flat profile or form factor. I put the bullet binders in plastic bags just in case something were to get, like any kind of liquids would get into the bag, but sort of just a just in case type deal.
My job. Oh.
It's not locked, is it?
you shooting today, Giannis? 223?
No, 308. If I would know.
Okay, so for lane assignments today, target 1, Atkinson, Bastone, and Zach. Zach, you'll be sharing basically my rifle and Mark Roth's rifle. Lane 2, Sadiani, Jones, Roth, Cabu. Same thing with Cabu. We got a rifle for you to share. Lane 3, Davis, Tush, Aiken. Lane 4, Lang, OCAB, Texas. Lane 5, Urbanik, Rodarte, Dabrowski. Lane 6, Hoskins, Stottlemyre, Toledo. Is there anybody I missed?
Crockett.
Wagner. Crockett. Well, that's why we have lane 7 down there.
Okay.
Yeah. Between 4 and 5.
Target to the right. The problem is he's shooting on target 7, but we got the wrong number for down.
I got to run a few down here.
To the right of orange 5.
6 from the left.
So this is your first stage of fire, 3x1000. You'll have 30 minutes for unlimited sighters and 20 rounds for record. Is the line ready?
Yeah.
The line is ready. Ready on the right? Ready on the left? All ready on the firing line. Your 30 minutes will commence when your targets appear.
Yes. Yeah. What am I using?
Drop the target.
Huh?
He dropped the target.
Oh, the dust come up.
All right, do another one, no biggie.
Yeah.
About 4 fingers high relief? All right.
So I'm out here on the 1,000 yard line at range 117. I just shot my first string of fire, and the wind is pretty good today. It's a lot less than I expected. I thought it was going to be pretty windy today based on earlier weather reports, but it's only about 1 mil of wind left to right, but the wind is sort of shifted right now and it kind of died off and it was moving right to left and it's going back left to right. So the wind is not strong, but it is letting off quite often, and it is sort of changing directions, quartering off, and you're basically going to chase the spotter, but not much. So on my first string, I was basically on the 9 ring left to right, so 9 ring on the 9 o'clock position, 9 ring to the 3 o'clock position, and constantly hitting left or right of center. And so that's pretty much how the wind has been today. It's not too terrible, but it is enough to throw you off if you're not a good shooter. I'm not a great shooter, so that's why it's killing me on the 1,000 yard line. But anyway, I'm not trying to be serious about it or trying to compete. I'm just trying to get some rounds down range, get some time behind the trigger, because I never get to shoot 1,000 yards.
Okay, your prep ended. Any additional prep time required?
1 second.
Prep time.
Well, I got 30 minutes.
No, you got 22 minutes. This is your second stage of fire. You have 22 minutes, 2 sighters, and 20 rounds for record. Is the line ready? Line is ready. Ready on the right. Ready on the left. All ready on the firing line. Your 22 minutes will commence when your targets appear. Welcome to let that rip.
One down here.
This one? Yeah, right at 100 yards. There's also, if you, Zach, if you want to run it down here, that, there's a piece of steel out there. You can hear it ring. There's a piece of triangle steel right up there. And that's,
Tell them no shooter on one.
no shooter on target 1. So there's a box of ammo up there. Have that.
So I just fired my second string of fire at the 1,000 yard line. It was a really bad string of fire. The wind actually changed since the first string. During the first string, the wind was moving left to right. The second string was right to left, but the problem is the right to left wind was really squirrely. The wind was letting off by quite a bit, and as far as out as like my shots would drift out of to the sixth string, it was really bad. So I was hitting on opposite sides of the X ring, and I just could not hold it as far as wind was concerned compared to the first string of fire. But again, it's something to work on as far as my shooting is concerned. My wind call at 1,000 is just really bad, and I just need to get better at it. And the Atlas bipod, to be honest, I'm not really liking it. I think I'll go back to the Harris, which is surprising considering how expensive the Atlas is. But for this kind of shooting, I think the Harris bipod is a little bit better.
My first 3 shots. Hit the target. There was with the lot I was
Christ,
shooting.
thing.
Yeah. My
Whacks
first
me in the
4
face.
over here, 10s.
Bill, you ready?
I'm ready. Cam? Yep. Rounds coming down range. Rounds coming down range. We're doing real work. Number 1-9.
Well, the target went down, so that's a good sign.
We're gonna have lunch with him when Pendleton returns from
That's a 9.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Where is it?
Right at the 10 ring. At
Oh,
the water line.
okay.
Perfect
Yeah, okay.
elevation.
Cabo's going to shoot on target number 6.
Well, Simon's on 6, right?
No, he's technically shooting on target 7. He's shooting on the right side of the
X 7 4
Finished the last stage of fire here at range 117, at least for myself, fired my third string, which was actually a lot better than the prior 2. I was holding within 9 ring, was able to hold pretty much 9s and 10s for the most part. I did blow 2 shots in a row. I'm not sure what happened, but they went wide left. And I was watching the wind and it didn't seem like it let off or picked up that much. but it might have. But I dialed back more wind, waited a little bit for things to settle down, took my next shots, and they were back into the center. So feeling a little comfortable as far as elevation is concerned. It's fine on this gun. It's just me holding windage. That being said, we're pretty much just waiting for the last string of fire to be done, and we're going to pack up all our gear and get back to the Range 116 parking lot. So it's just after 15:20. I'm at the parking lot of Range 116. Got all my gear back from 117. Pretty much everyone's taken off, and we're pretty much done for the day. Not much to say about today's range visit. Got my rounds down range. Didn't shoot very well at all, but I mean, well enough considering I don't shoot much 1,000 yards. Time on the 1,000 yard line. I do need to learn how to read wind better. That's still one of my failings. But other than that, a decent day today. So I'm glad I got up in the morning to come out to the range. So I haven't been doing much shooting lately. Just the last match was our last vlog was the AR match at Burrow Canyon, and today here at Camp Pendleton. I do have another rifle project in the works, but I don't want to talk about it in too much detail, so I'm going to wait until I actually get more of the parts in before I mention it, because it's all kind of on order and it's sort of pre-order or back order and in production. So I'll wait till I get some of the major components in before I talk about it. So that's pretty much it. Not much else to say regarding today's range session. It was a good day. Wind was okay, and so I mean, a lot of people came out today, a couple visitors who were here just to observe, so I was glad I can help provide some information, answer some questions for them. So if you ever want to come out and see a match, I highly recommend you might just notify the club officials you're going to visit, and maybe you can borrow a rifle if you don't have something that's suitable. But definitely try to make the time to shoot in the actual match if you're going to even come out and observe. Just highly recommend you just try and shoot. Don't worry about performing well, just as long as you're safe, that's all that really matters. So anyway, it's getting a little bit later in the day, and I kind of want to get something to eat before I head home. So until then, pay attention to my blog at okabj.net, and I'll have my regular articles I do post that may be shooting related and not shooting related that you might be interested in. So until then, today is Sunday, April 9th. I'm at Camp Pendleton, the parking lot of Range 116. I'll see you at the next vlog.